Hey everybody, welcome back to, well, I kind of was going back and forth to the truck talk thing, but I actually like the whole thing because, you know, spending most of my time in the truck. But anyways, welcome back to Truck Time and Time with Jesus. How about that? Anyways, there's a lot going on. There's a lot been going on. You look at the visions and things that people talk about, that people disbelieve. We are going into a time right now that God said that it's going to be a spiritual disbelief. People are going to stop believing in the church and the body of Christ, which is us. We branch out. We are that mighty tree. You know, he's the foundation. The Lord is that tree, and we are the branches. We connect to him. You know, as it says in there, you know, the vines, however you want to interpretate it, I go as God is that foundation. The Lord is the mighty trunk, basically, and we make up the branches. Doesn't matter if you're the very tiny little tiny branch that's holding that leaf on. It's still mighty enough to hold a bunch of leaves, isn't it? So you have to look at it however you want to look at it. But you think about what I've been speaking about, the dream and that vision I've been having. I call it more a vision because dreams to me is when I'm dreaming like in bed and I'm having those type of dreams. These visions are realistic. I mean, and I know it's hard for people to believe that I can physically touch things and, you know, whatever goes through people's head. That's between you, God, and Jesus. But you also must understand that you can't allow the devil to give you thoughts. You can't allow the devil to bring fear into your life. How does he do it? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we're in his time right now. We're in the very powerful moment that what we celebrate his month. You may say, Nelson, I don't celebrate. But do you? Do you pass out candy? Do you uphold costume parties and maybe go see a scary movie? Maybe you got some at home? I drove by a house yesterday, and I'm telling you right now, people, I didn't even know it existed. But I mean, I know the thing exists, but I didn't know that this. They had an animated Annabelle figure in their yard. I don't know. Everybody knows my thoughts and things on that. You're just inviting the devil into your household. You're inviting the evil spirits and attachments. You go watch this nonsense, and whatever comes with it, you have to expect. This is the devil's time. And I know people keep saying, you know, I've had a lot of people come against the devil's playground. It is a playground out there. Whatever you want to call it, you call it. But if you tell me that's a godly world out there, I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what God you're serving. It's like what the Bible speaks. You will serve two masters. You can't do it. You're going to serve one master better than the other. I gave examples of that in other videos. My thing is, when do we uphold God and only God and worship Jesus and go on that faith and trust and that belief? Where do we stand up as men of our households and call the devil out? But instead, the devil's making paranoid. He's making people prideful, boastful, lovers of themselves. Well, that's Revelation, people. It's in the book of Revelation. Some men even get to a point where, you know, they're so controlling. It's a spirit of, you know, there's a certain name for the spirit that is over control. You know, and it branches off with pridefulness, boastfulness. You know, I can do this. You're only capable of doing what you think you can do. See, people start underestimating because they look at themselves. You look at a bodybuilder and people go, whoa. And he's walking around all, you know, this and that. And you're thinking, wow, you know, that guy probably could destroy a landfill of people. You know, well, also look at David and look at Goliath. That's my point. What God has, there is no fear of man. And see, when you've been dead to the world and you died and you've come back, life changed for me. Life changed. I thought back a while back when I was young. I was thinking, I mean, I've always heard things, but when did I start seeing the supernatural realm? And how was I able to see demons coming from a closet and what it turned into as it went up to terrorize my sisters? Well, granted, I was just a little boy. It's not like, I knew anything about it. I just know what it turned into before it went upstairs. And sometimes you can be thankful for that. You can be thankful that they didn't get to see what I seen. But you look at it and go, I recall Copley, and every time we drive through this particular place, there used to be a restaurant called The Bunny. There was a service station across the street. And I've told this in my testimony, I believe, that the angel, and I know it was an angel, he come swooping down. See, the crazy thing about this is, in this, what I'm about to tell you about this vision I had the other night, I literally was awoken out of bed. And I turned around and looked at my bed. I seen my body laying there. I touched my body. I touched Darlene's body. Believe it or not, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to convince you that what I'm telling you is true. I'm just telling you, pray on it. I think a lot of people should be praying about a lot of things right now. But let me get back a little bit here. Well, the interesting thing is I remember sitting up in the road and watching the car drive away. Now, the interesting part, through this vision that I had, I went back to that time and I remembered I never did sit up. To me, I did sit up. And the only reason why I know this to be true is because I remember the lady that was standing off to the side. She was a nurse. She said, she told the lady, do not move him. She goes, I'm not moving him. I'm just making sure he's okay. She goes, what happened to the guy? Well, she's the only one seen him besides me. Think about it. How did she see what I seen? She goes, and the way she described him is exactly how I seen him. This way, and he swooped down like this. And his feet touched the ground as he got close to me and lifted me up out of the street. But the amazing part is, she said, the nurse said, I would have hit him if he didn't set up. The lady that witnessed it, that was coming out of the drive-thru next to the restaurant, The Bunny there, said he never sat up, ma'am. The man grabbed him. You seen the man grabbing him and lifting him up. She couldn't convince her. I knew. But I also knew that when he picked me up, I was able to see the car. And I could still hear my sister saying that I fell out of the car. See, the door, I opened the door and I was watching the lines and I was fascinated by the lines moving. Later on, I guess it makes sense because I love speed. I mean, I love going fast in a car. Not so much these days because I don't build hot rods and stuff anymore, but I enjoyed it when I did. It's an expensive hobby. You grow up, I guess, and you have other things in life that is more important, I guess, or takes priority. You know, it's kind of like God's order. You know, we have to balance it out to make it even every day. And, you know, one of the things through this vision that I'm about to unfold to you is it's amazing because, you know, the Father keeps saying, come to me in your secret place and I should reveal myself to you. You know, he's asking something simple for a reason. He wants to be a part of our lives, but we're so busy saying we don't have time. And again, people, I'm not going through the whole time videos and all that stuff because I've done did it. You know, if you can't look at your life and go, man, I'm wasting a lot of time, or I'm wasting a lot of time with nonsense people. You know, these nonsense people are going to deliver you to the other realm instead of you going where you should be going. Doing good works, doing good deeds, it's great. It's great to glorify the kingdom as long as you're glorifying the kingdom and not yourself and taking praise. I don't even like to do stuff and let people see it because I don't want somebody to thank me. Because I don't want to remove anything from heaven. You know, the Lord said a while back, everything you do here and you glorify up there and the Father pours out here, you shall take it with you and you shall receive it bigger in heaven. See, the Pharisees glorified themselves. Some of these pastors are glorifying themselves. Some of them are getting so big on themselves, they forgot where God was. They forget that they stumble. They forget when they're pointing the finger. Because instead of asking you, hey, this is what's going on, they assume they know. Don't assume anything. The devil makes you assume things. The devil makes you think that you heard something. You may dang well be hearing something. But you got to understand something. You look at all the things that are taking place. I've been speaking a while back over and over and over about flooding. And I know some of you may say, well, Nelson, it's not what you said about the buildings being underwater, but it's the fact that it's happening. It's the fact that it's happening. Now, if you go back, I remember I seen the water trickling through. Now, I'm not saying what I seen in the vision all happened at one time. But what I first saw in New York and coming out of Jersey was the same thing. It's happening. Things are going to change. You look at Donald Trump, okay, and I'm not going into politics. Trust me, that's the last thing I go into because it causes an argument. And I'm not here to argue with anybody. I don't care if you like Donald Trump or don't like Donald. Donald Trump is human. Donald Trump can't save us. People are putting their faith and hope in a man that is purely man. Was he a good president? I don't know. Did he tell us the truth on things? Yes. Did he do bad while he was in office? I don't know. You know, so do how many other presidents? Look at Nixon. I mean, we can go down the line. I don't know why Nixon just came to my head, but it did. And I don't know a lot about Nixon, to be honest. Even a lot of presidents. You know, I know some about Jimmy Carter and Reagan, and you know, you go off of their beliefs. But I didn't care, and I still don't care about politics. You know, because to me, it doesn't change anything. Trump was in there, yeah. He spent great times trying to keep back the cartel and all that kind of stuff. Great, that's what he should be doing. You know, we came against him so many times because he changed it. Well, he changed stuff in the trucking world too. It really kind of hurt my paycheck and taxes at the end because I couldn't claim the things that I used to be able to claim. And one of the things that I had a problem with it is that the fact that you used what the Clintons did and you prospered from it. But instead, I'm not prospering from this. You know, there is things that I have to purchase out there that I tear up quickly. That we were used to get refunded by it. But you look at all the wasteful taxes. You look at all the things that these stimuluses and these buyouts and these fake numbers. They're fake, people. You know, now they're doing this college thing again and this and that. And everybody's, oh, this is great, this is great. Well, yeah, until you start paying taxes. Property taxes, right through the roof. The Lord told me that, and I spoke it, and look. People are saying it around the area. My oldest sister just told me our property taxes are going up. I said, yeah, and we said, yeah, ours too. Gasoline, up and down, up and down, up and down. What a crock. Elon Musk, I told you that he would start going back into talking about gasoline. Solar panels, nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with solar panel. To the person that said, I don't understand why you hate solar panel. I don't hate solar panel. I hate the fact if you tie in, now listen to me, if you tie into your existing electrical provider, to me, there's no sense in solar panel. Elon Musk's thing is you could sell your remaining out of your storage to there and you probably wouldn't have to pay a bill. Probably, I shouldn't have to pay a bill. I got solar panel. They have their own units that contain and hold. Look at the people that live out in the cabins and stuff and live out way out there that has solar panel. The solar panel is nothing new, people. It's just becoming solar farms everywhere. And I find it very fascinating the places these solar panel farms are, you know, coming up. You look at all these factories and all this stuff. It's exhausting even thinking about it. But anyways, let's fast forward a little bit here. Let's go into I opened this and was reading this morning, but give me 1 second. I want to grab some glasses because I can't see too good these days. Grab my phone charger and plug the phone in, but I didn't get the glasses. But anyways, so look what's taking place. I was in prayer with the Lord, and I was walking with him, and we were talking, and he told me October 3rd, the beginning of October to October 3rd, you will see a disturbing event getting ready to take place. And as we're going through this, I seen in my head Ouija boards, and I seen all this stuff taking place. Now, the interesting thing is, I was young when I watched the original Exorcist. I mean, I was young. Terrified me because I seen those kind of things in that closet there in Copley. I seen a girl that looked like her under the steps in the basement. Creepy. Yes, beyond creepy. I'm glad you agree with me there. Terrifying. Yes. Let's just run down the line here. Pennywise wasn't a clown, but appeared as a clown because most people like clowns because they made balloons. And they made balloon animals. Some would squirt you with a flower. You didn't like them so well. Some would do little tricks on you. And you notice the twist of a clown? Balloon animals, but instead they're popping the balloon. But you notice what the Pennywise clown used in the original It, in the other one, the more sinister. But you notice how they took Pennywise and made him more sinister. You notice how they brought the Joker sinister from the comic books instead of the Jack Nicholson and Batman. The original TV series with Adam West. You notice how things are twisting because it's not so fearful anymore. See, the fear has to be there. The fear has to draw you in. Where we live, there's a plaza, and there's somebody rents out the back part of this building part, and the people must make really good money, not only what they do there, but to maintain a store that's only open a few weeks out of the year. But you think about this. It's a haunted attraction, basically. But we drove through there, and they had a booth. Now, the crazy thing is, down in Florida, I had a vision. I couldn't recognize the parking lot. I didn't recognize it. We drove through there, and all these booths. But I remember this girl walking across the street with another girl, and her face kind of looked like a vampire to me. But the weird thing about it is these people were exposing a lot of their body parts. This girl was kind of the same way. You know, because in that seductive realm, what draws it in? Come on, let's be realistic here right now. You know, sex sells, and it sells bad, and that's what draws the majority of people into it. Not just men these days. So don't start pointing women at the person you're with, because it happens with women just the same. Because you look at these bodybuilders, you look at these people, their nice tans, and their appearance and stuff like that. Because we do what? We eat with our eyes, we see with our eyes. Everything we do with our eyes, it triggers into our brain. It's an attraction. Otherwise, you wouldn't have probably went with the person you're going with if you didn't find them attractive. Am I right or wrong? You're not just going to walk. It's like that thing at, when you walk in a bar at 8 o'clock, that everybody looks like this. By 1 o'clock, they look like the beauty queen of Miss USA. You don't care. That's the problem. But think about this. This, on the 3rd, from the 1st all the way down, I seen I was getting ready to look up something on Google, and I seen that Exorcist, whatever they're calling this thing, Exorcist Believer, I think it is. What a name, Believer. You're about to believe. Not only is it possessing one person, two people. You know, and I'm not being racist here at all. Now, don't go there with this, because you know that upsets me when people call people racist and all this stuff. It's hate, people. That's all it is. It's the devil wants to empower. And I've said it before. When you got this white power stuff, you might as well put your hand like this and do the Hitler thing. When you got the black power thing and they're doing all this stuff, it's the same concept. You can't let it go. You can't move on from yesterday because you hold it. You teach your children. You teach your children's children. Your grandchildren's children. You're going to keep continuing on the patch of torch of hate. But if you truly go back to the first murder, was Cain and Abel. You truly go back to slavery. We have to go back to the Egyptian days. We have to go back. There was white slaves, the same as that. We are slaves right now, whether you believe it or not. I don't even like to use the word slave. I have plenty of American Africans. I have plenty of black people, whatever the heck you want to call it. You want to call us white crackers, whatever the heck you want to call us, then that's your rights. It doesn't offend me. I don't have time to sit there and worry about what one race is going to say to another race. Because it's the devil's realm. That's all that is. It's hate. Turn everybody against each other. Look at the walls of Jericho. What did they do inside there? They became against each other and they killed each other. Read it. The hate starts with us. Jesus didn't come here to serve and to go to the cross for a certain race. The Hebrews, I mean, I can go down the line of many people that claim. I mean, I've walked into an American African church and they asked me to leave. The pastor says, "You're the wrong skin color to be in here. I don't recommend you stay here." I said, "Do you serve God?" "Yes." "Do you serve the God, the creator God that created all of us after the image of himself?" "Yes." "Do you read from the Holy Bible?" "Do you believe in the Holy Bible? Do you believe the promises of the Holy Bible?" "Yes." "So why am I not welcome here?" Quote unquote. A lady walked up, and I've testified on this before. A lady walked up to me as she was entering. She says, "There will be no white people in heaven." Really? I suppose there's going to be no Hebrew either. According to the Hebrew, they're going to be the only ones there. Religion can't save you. That's all I'm going to say. And I know I'm a little worked up today because I'm trying to get this message into people. I'm trying to get you to wake up. I mean, think about the believer of this exorcism. So what do? Now, and I hate to say it like this, but I'm going to say it because I don't sugarcoat stuff and I'm not trying to offend anybody. So that being said, they have a young black girl, and I believe it's a white girl from what I can tell, but they go to this party and they're doing a seance and they're playing with the Ouija board. Well, Darlene told me something interesting that I see, because we were talking about. I thought, I really don't know. I know in the beginning of the original Exorcist, they're in there and they're doing the earth and all this, and they come across that. I'm not even going to say what it truly is, but anyways, if anybody's watched the original version, you'll remember the beginning of it. I didn't know that she went down the basement and found a Ouija board and was playing with it. I don't remember that for some reason, but it's true because Darlene looked it up and said, "Look, it's right here." And I was like, "Oh, I believe you." I didn't remember that for some reason. Now, the interesting thing about this is that I've never told anybody. My mom bought a Ouija board. And I remember us playing with it. I remember sitting at the table and stuff, and sitting on the table, and them all putting their hands on it and stuff, and it would move and stuff, and you know they would always argue, "You moved it, you're moving it," and so the weird part about all these things as it's taking place, I'm sitting there thinking about all this, and I'm going. But I remember one night coming out of my room and going through the dining room to go into the bathroom to walk down the hallway. I remember when I was coming back, I seen something move. Now, granted, I'm terrified of everything at this age, but I watched it move across the board, and I know there was nobody there. So as I stopped, I heard ask a question. Only thing I could muster out was, "Are you evil?" And it went straight to yes. So then as I was running past it a little bit, I stopped and I turned around and I said, "Are you the girl under the steps?" It moved back and went right back to yes. And I ran and jumped. People, I mean literally, I would jump into my bed. Now you think about this. If you think the Ouija board isn't powerful, I told you when I was in the demonic realm, I'm just going to say the little pyramid piece that comes with it. I'm not going to give you the names, but the little sight glass in the middle has another name. When we make ours, I destroyed mine. Nobody has access to mine. But you poke yourself and you add blood when it's sealed up. See, there's so much about the demonic realm that people don't understand. And I know what some of you may be thinking, "Nelson, why are you telling people this?" Because you know. I'm telling you this because you need to be on the lookout for these things. If your children are starting to act weird, we're entering into a time where look what's about to happen. You're about to see the most creepiest show that should not be on. Even the director, I was reading things from the director. This has got to be the most scariest movie yet made. They're predicting this movie is going to outsell any box office hit. Why? Because people want to be scared this time of year. It's October. Ooh. Boo. You should be scared of Revelation. You should be scared of the coming of Christ. You should be terrified right now that if you're left here and left behind, of what the devil is about to do to you. You should be terrified of that because you will willingly take the mark of the beast and take the chip, because why? He's going to put fear in you. You won't eat. You won't do this. You won't do this. You won't be able to do anything. I talked about the Uber Eats and all this garbage. Now check this out. I also seen in there where they're getting ready to set up delivery. Our currency, our cards and everything. You will go online and fill out how many people's in your household and they will deliver food. I seen styrofoam things. You know, you ever order like a ham or something and they pack it in dry ice in them styrofoam things? I seen that. That's how they're going to deliver the meat. I was telling the person this and they said, "Man, you have lost your mind. This will never happen." Because we have the Constitution. I said, the Constitution is just a worthless piece of paper like the dollar bill that we hold in our hands. You go back with Trump, and you think about, we were talking about this yesterday. Why now do they do this? I tell you why. Because they want to prolong, and I might be wrong in this, but I seriously doubt it. How can you run? Because there is a cutoff time that all the people running for president and all these things that's got to take place. There is a cutoff time. And then they narrow it down to the top two that's going to debate and go into the race, you know, to be president. So basically, whoever it comes down to will go against Biden. Or if they take Biden out, which I got a feeling they're going to do that. I think Biden, you know, Biden, I've always said, was a scapegoat for them. And he's not the person running this country. And whether people want to believe it or not, Kamala Harris is nothing but a puppet show in itself to keep us distracted because of all the hyena laughs and all the stuff that people say. Think what you want, people. If you literally think it doesn't matter who we put in this office, but you really think they got a whole year, all years, starting of now, before we do a presidential election. So if they keep Trump postponing, well, we're going to postpone this for a bit because we're getting ready to go into the holidays. We'll pick up in the new year. I guarantee you, you're going to hear this. So that's going to push it, push it, push it. How can he run for president if he's not found not guilty? Because if he's found guilty, he definitely can't run for president. You see what I'm saying here? They waited till now. They couldn't stop him. They know his rallies were huge. But yet, you got Pence up there lying. You got DeSantis up there lying. I mean, plain lies, people. Do the research. We Google everything else. Start looking at the things they believed in and the things they said. That's not my problem, not my issues. Yeah, it is. You were vice president, Pence. It is your issues. It is your problem. The things that you say that you're not going to do is not your problem. Well, it's our problem. Protect us. That's what you're being hired for. But we lose the authority of our freedom of speech. We can't speak of religion, but we can speak of everything else that this nonsense that the devil's realm wants, because they're taking God away from us. No, they will never take me. You will kill me. People want to know, do you truly believe God is real? Do you truly believe in hell? I just got an email, a thing on Messenger. I feel really bad for this lady of what she's going through. She's the one that I did a video for a while back with, her son and this candle and all this nonsense. Makes sense. Look what we're in. The month of nonsense. Her husband's coming against her. Well, you're nonsense. You should be supporting your wife. You should be standing up for your household. You should be removing that crap from your son's broom. You should be rebuking that crap out of your house. These pastors, she said she went to a church that was false. All they was doing is doing wicked things and trying to get money. Well, people, that's all over the place. Unbelievable. A church can't save you. It's a building. Same as your house. It's like walking in your house and saying, I'm safe. No. Your belief in walking with Christ. Your daily walk with Him. Your control of your mind, and don't let gossip and don't let all these wicked things enter into your life. My son, sent me a message a while back saying, Dad, we're on two separate paths. God has us on two separate paths. And I really wanted to just say to him, but, again, I'm not pushing the envelope. I really wanted to say to him, no, son, God doesn't put, He either takes away from you. But to put two people on two separate paths, what it is I just don't fit into your life. Because, when you can take other families and have other family members of your life, and God has time for that, but not for your father. Because in the realm of it all, I'm the bad person. But it's okay. See, I ask for peace, and I ask for God to remove things. He's my son, and I'll always love him. But I'm not begging anybody to be in my life. But I will ask God, who do you want in my life? A while back, I spoke about when Darlene went to this event. It was a women's retreat thing for church, for a church, Salvation Army, basically. They had a guest speaker there, and Darlene said she was really, good at what she does and to keep you remembering things, which is awesome, because that's what we should do. We should teach in a way that people are going to remember it. And I know sometimes I get a little fired up because it's what I'm compassionate about. But you go through this, and I sat here one night, and I'm staring at the fireplace, and I remember as a child always listening to my grandfather's, when he built a fire, just listen to it crackle and stuff. And I said, man, I really want to go get some wood and just toss it in there and just start a fire. but it's hot. I don't want to make it hotter, you know. So it's like, I'll just wait. But anyways, I started thinking, it's so quiet. I'm like, what would I do? You know, do I keep the place? Do I sell the place? Do I, you know, all these thoughts are going through my head, and I'm going, why do we have thoughts like this? Are we putting things in existence, or is something going to happen that I don't know for me to even think like this? Because I always told Darlene, she's like, do you want me to get life insurance on me or this? And I said, no. Because if I pass away, then you need it. If you pass away, I continue doing what I'm doing. But I come to the conclusion in life going, I'm basically alone. You know, the purpose I believe that I have is to take care of her. See, God's always let something in there because that's what He gave me strength to do. I have a purpose. And I know this might sound weird to people, but that's what keeps me going some days. Because I have a purpose to make sure she's taken care of. So, if the purpose gone, what does God do next? You know, it's like you sit there and go, and that's why I understand God's purpose, plan, and reason in our lives. See, you have to understand it. He has a purpose and a plan and a reason for you. He chose you to come here. So let's continue on this journey. Now, you look at the events that are unfolding. How many kids and how many nonsense people are going to go watch this? And I mean that out of love. Because if you're going to go pay money to sit there and watch that nonsense, you are nonsense. It's total chaos. You're opening realms of your sight, and how many demons do you think is going to be attached to this? Crazy. I remember looking at this. I forget what movie it was, but the actress, there was, and I'm sitting there thinking, man, you know, unbelievable. You know, I never really put a lot of attention in it, but I know the women's liberal rights and all these things and what they want, and they want to be independent. And I went through a whole thing of that too. You know, fine, go be independent. But don't, if you're going to be independent, then you better be able to do it all. That's right. You better be able to get yourself into heaven without Jesus. Because you can't trust man. You can't rely on man. It's kind of like the transgenders and all this nonsense that the devil's putting out here. You look at fear. You look at Al-Qaeda, however you pronounce it. You know, I never could pronounce things very well, so pardon me there. But they were dressed in black. Fear. Cover the mask. Cover with the face. You look at horror films. They got masks on. Jason. Michael Myers. You know, you go through the whole blah, blah, blah of it. Can't be killed. He's insane. They've done everything under the sun to Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy Krueger, you know, Pennywise. You can go down the list. But look how many things that's happened through horror films. You go back to Poltergeist. Look at the things that were happening because it's demonic. You look at the Amityville Horror when they were filming that inside that house. Things did happen on that set too. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense why you would continue to do something. But it doesn't matter because you're after that top seller. You're after that money. You're after the income. You know, we look at iRobot. We look at all these films. But now we start looking at what the actors and all the people that are involved with it are truly into. One of the best actors that I loved growing up was Tom Hanks. And I'm so discouraged. I feel like, you know, and that's why the Lord says, do not put your trust in man. You know, because we uphold people and, you know, man, what a good actor. And then when you find out that they're just rotten, they're on islands of sex trafficking and all the people that are involved in this. You look at the Illuminati. The Illuminati, oh man, let's just dig into that cluster mess real quick. Yeah, hold it up there, people. Put your eye in the middle. You ever notice when they're doing that? They're holding their eye in the middle. What's on the back of a dollar bill? Look at my hands. Some of them will put their hands up. Well, what are you doing? I know all about it. But what do they do on there? What do they do on the stages when they're dancing around? We got a good taste of it. Right back at the, what was it, the music awards or whatever it was, when the guy came out all dressed in there and the half-naked people dancing all around. And that's what they do on stage when they're doing their rituals in the Illuminati. The only difference is you got somebody that sits on the top of this pyramid. You can't have a music career unless you sleep with this person. And it doesn't matter if it's male or female. They don't care. Where do you think transgender? And where do you think all this identifying? Where do you think all this garbage came from? Because it is garbage. He is the father of lie, the father of deceit, the father of hate. He will just rob, kill, and destroy you. The Bible says so. He can also appear as an angel of light. The Bible says so. He's a handsome, smooth-talking creation. See, what does he do? He knows he can't create anything, but he knows he can deceive you into becoming something that you're not. Because we live by the money. Scarface, very, very crazy movie. But one thing about it is very true. First you get the money, then you get the power. Cartel and all these all the way down the line. From the beginning, the mafia. And if you think the mafia doesn't control the elections and all this stuff, people, you got another thing coming. And I'll be surprised if YouTube even allows this to come on, to be honest. If this actually comes on, I'm going to be amazed. You know, and the only thing I'm speaking is truth that's already out there, that people already speak about. Nothing I'm speaking on this video should be a surprise to anybody. Maybe it will be. But maybe it's going to shake that foundation so bad it's going to wake you up. Because the devil's coming. And he's coming full force. The eve of Halloween, there's going to be great rituals. Great rituals. Not what I'm speaking. That's what I've seen. And I've seen demons and I've seen warlocks and I've seen witches. And when people say, oh, there's good witches, you are crazy to ever think and believe that. There is no good witch. A witch is a witch. A warlock is a warlock. It's like saying, hey, he's my friend. He's a warlock. Yeah, don't get him mad, though, because he's liable to destroy you. See where I'm at with this? You have more demonic stuff going on in your house because you refuse to take that nonsense out of your house. You're enabling things that take place in your own household. You wonder why your house is falling upside down and God's prospering his people, because the Lord told me. People around you shall go through pain and suffering because of the devil's ways of what he puts in people's heads. My people shall prosper through these times. He will pour out his favor. I was at a family member's house and I seen this doll. I seen it change. And I seen it move. Crazy thing about it is, the one person that wasn't takes herself out of there. And I don't care what anybody says. I know the truth because God gives me the truth. Not only when God gives me the truth, but he will give me somebody to speak things. And I know my older sister hasn't been so truthful with me about things because I've heard it straight from other people. The truth. But it's okay. You know, a mother lion will protect her cubs. But the weird thing about this is, the very girl that... See, here's the thing. And I'm going to say this because a lot of times if I start looking at people's faces and I see what I call the face changing, I'll stare at their throat because I don't want to look at it. The crazy thing is, because I'm staring at someone's throat, they automatically assume that I'm staring at their breast. This is some of the stuff I've been accused of. Seriously. In reality, I just want to go, are you insane? I don't want to look at the demon. I've seen enough of them. I'm sick of looking at him. You naive person. Same as what I said. I've seen the things that this person does. How would I know it? I'm not in their house. I don't know nothing about this girl. I felt bad for her because none of the other family talks to her and stuff. So I'm guilty of that. Trying to bring joy into someone's life and to understand what they wanted to go to college for because I didn't understand it. And I was trying to give her some helpful advice to watch out if you go into a college dorm because these guys are animals. And the last thing you want to do is end up pregnant. You can't even support yourself, let alone. And if that's not, I don't even know. Her mom is my niece. So whatever the heck she is to me, because her mom's mine. I don't know. I never understood the whole family thing, your niece, your uncle, this and that. I mean, I understand the uncle thing and nieces and nephews, grandchildren. I mean, I understand that. But when it starts breaking down from their children, I don't know. I guess I'd be her great uncle. I guess maybe. I don't know. But either way, it's not important. But it's the fact that I've seen. I mean, how do you describe things? How do you describe the books that this girl's reading out of? I have no clue. I don't know what. And the thing of it is, I haven't figured it out yet. But I seen it in this vision. All this stuff's unfolding through these visions. I seen it through a vision that a family member bought these books. Blew my mind. I don't know who bought them, but I know a family member added to this stuff without even knowing what it is. But the crazy thing is, I asked, where did that doll come from? I watched the face change. I watched the eyes when this girl walked out of her room. Now, granted, I had to use the restroom. I literally was going to the bathroom because I knew where the bathroom was. After my sister told me where the bathroom was, I'm like, dang it. I had to cross through past her bedroom. See, what people have done is to destroy you in ways that they don't even know. Because when she finally did come out of her room, when I went in there, I turned and I looked the other way so I could get to the bathroom. And I even knocked to make sure nobody was in this bathroom. Naturally, I would knock anyways, but I'm just saying, I made it a point. I was shaking, even walking through there. Because look what the devil does. Look what the devil does. I told my son a while back, I said, you don't understand. I can never have a grandfather relationship again with your children. Or any of my children. Can't do it. Because of all the crap that the devil spent. You know why? Because he wanted to stop me. He still wants to stop me. You know how I know this? The one I'm about to tell you. As we're walking through, we're coming into a place in hell. I've yet not heard anybody speak at this place. Like in heaven, I call it like a conference room type setting. Hell, same thing. But it's judgment of the demons. If they're not properly doing what they're doing, they also will be tortured. It's a horrifying place. Hell in general is a horrifying place. And I seen the very thing starting to take place. See, when you think you dress up and you put these cloaks, let's just call them what they are. When you can describe something to a T and you can explain it. When she walked out of her room, and granted, as soon as I seen the shadow, I put my head down. I just stared down at my plate. And I knew when she was past me because I could feel it. I could feel the presence of what's there pass through. But I looked over at that doll and I watched the eyes go. And I went, wait a minute, did that just do what I think it did? Now, crazy thing about it is, I didn't even know she was there. I thought maybe she left. And but when I walked inside, you know, this MTV show was on, and I'm like, "Oh, Chris, I didn't know you watch this." She goes, "Oh, I don't." And I'm thinking, there's nobody in there watching it. See, because the presence comes there. Go to your room. You know why? Because they're cowards. They don't want to be confronted. And that's what the devil is. He's getting ready to pour out demons, people. And if your household is unprotected, keep watching your scary movies. Keep watching The Night of the Living Dead. Keep watching The Walking Dead, the spin-off, Daryl's Great Adventures of Fighting Zombies, whatever the heck they're calling it these days. You can't get enough. You know why? Because you brought another entity into this one, and it's all about the power of who's in control. What a bunch of nonsense. Ain't none of you in control. We're not even in control of ourselves, to be honest with you. We're either being led by God or we're being led by the devil. Before certain people come and say, well, Nelson, you need to start reading the Bible. You need to ask God to heal you. I have been healed, people. I'm just using my daily life to wake you up and go, it happens in everybody's life. I'm not exempt from it. You want to know the shocking part about it is, every day I fight the devil. Every day. You know how I just some days just want to rip into things? You know the anger, it happens. But I ask God quickly to control my anger. You know why? Because I'm not capable of controlling it. I'm not capable, but I am capable of listening to our true living Savior. I have to go to that place with Him. Anybody can have a relationship with Him. Take this final warning to start going through your home. Start getting in your kids' business. Well, they're going to be mad at me, Nelson. Big deal. They'll probably be mad at you anyways. My kids were mad at me all the time. They don't talk to me today. So what did I say? I'm glad I did what I did. Because the devil wants to make it push out the very thing that's going to speak the truth. Push out the very thing that they fear the most. Now I know some of them say, well, how many of you got family members? Well, we found Jesus. You know, we're changing our lives and this and that. Really? But you're still judgmental. Because I stated my case. And my lawyer, Jesus, didn't convict me. You know, it's kind of like the adulteress. They brought it before it. Should she be stoned? And they're all holding stones. And the Lord, just picture the Lord holding this. Thou without sin may take this rock from my hand, from oldest to young. You notice oldest to young left. And the young's probably sitting there. If I was standing, I'd be like, wait a minute. You preach all this garbage to me, but yet you're leaving before me? We don't want to listen to things about hell. I don't want to hear this. It bothers me. I don't want to hear this. Why? Because you live it? How do you go to spiritual warfare classes then? Because they teach it in a pleasant little way that oh, we're all sitting here together, but you don't want to hear the real realm. Because I tell you, if you take half of these people that talk about spiritual warfare, we went to a class that a guy swore by, this and blah, 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 blah. When you bring in the fact of what we were going through, he couldn't get away from us fast enough. Nobody wanted to help us. Don't preach something that you're terrified of your damn self. And it's true, people. We're so fearful of things. We're allowing the devil to take control. But you refuse to gather hold of the nonsense that you allow in your house. Into your spirit. Into your body. Into your temple of God. Your children are falling from you. Why? Because the devil flat out told me, I've taken your children. I've taken your grandchildren. I will take everything. I had great things planned for you. Did you? Please explain to me the great things that you had planned for me. Because everything you did is fake and false. It's temporary. Because it's a price to it. The devil's coming to claim his price, people. He's claiming to claim his money. Per se, that's owed to him. See, everything he gives you, there's a price to it. There's a consequence to it. Nothing good comes from it. It's temporary. You look at all these famous people. Look at their lives. Falling and falling and falling, one by one by one. Because that's what the devil does. If you're not doing the devil's work, there's no need for you. The devil will take your life. People start praying for you, your life goes into an upside down tornado. Think about it. When you walk through realms that you don't understand, you dismiss it. It's just a movie. But why are so many people having night terrors? Why are so many people seeing things? Why are they being awoken? Why are they having dreams? Why are they seeing things that doesn't seem to exist? Oh, because you watched a movie. It's your self-conscious. Your mind's playing tricks on you. Your mind's playing tricks on you? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard growing up. And it's still the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because we don't want to go into the spiritual warfare. People say the church is needed. Okay, well, when people are trying to tell you about the spiritual realms, nobody wants to hear it. I don't want to hear about hell. I don't want to hear about seances. I don't want to hear about all the stuff that comes here because I like it. Yeah, let's just say it. I watch scary movies. I think they're great. It's fun being frightened. Is it? Until you live the nightmare every day. Don't tell me about being frightened. Don't tell me about what you think is a joke. Don't tell me what you think that isn't true. Until you're picked up and tossed across the room. Until you're picked up and held underneath your chin. Until you walk through the fiery pits. Until you see seances and you see things that you could do with your own fingertips. Don't tell me about fearful. Don't tell me about what's fake and what's real. God is as real as Jesus Christ that walks this earth. Jesus is as real. If you believe in the satanic realm, you have to believe there's a God. You know why? Because you despise God in your chance. Bet you people didn't know it. Bet you didn't learn that in your church spiritual warfare class. Little sarcasm to say, no, I'm just trying to wake you up. I fear what's coming for a lot of you. I fear, not in the fear of what's going to happen, because I'm okay with what's coming. Because I know he who lives with me is mightier than anything out there. I know some of you may say, well, Nelson, it's technically he who lives in you. Yes, say it however you want. Does it matter? It's the same concept. See, this is what I'm talking about. Because we're so busy trying to correct people, but when you hit home at their home, Back up, bud. You overstepped your boundaries. Really, Lucifer, did I overstep my boundaries? Have I lost my mind? No, I haven't lost my mind. But some of you will. Exorcist is real. To be possessed is real. You want to continue to buy people books and chants, you might as well go get them the crystals and the potions. Watch the TV show Charmed, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Nothing wrong with these things. The Craft. So we go down the list. We were at the flea market the other day walking around getting fruits and vegetables and stuff and whatever. We were walking around and I seen this little kid. He was looking over at this platform thing and I was like, I looked over there and I kind of moved back. And I said, "That's evil." And he just looked at me. His mom kind of looked at me and went, I said, that's entering to the devil's lair. That's what he's looking at. I know it all too well. And I walked on. It's up to them what they do. But at least I brought truth to something. The world's going to hate you. But they hated God and Jesus way before they hated us. You know, you take a risk sometimes when you speak things, even in your own life, like things with my son. You know, it's in God's hands, people. You know, I have other children. It's the same concept. But some of the things trigger a thing in there, and I can turn that in many different directions. But let's keep pushing forward. And Hallows Eve, and these things are unfolded. It's not just going to affect the spiritual realm. It's going to infect the leaders of these nations. They're going to become more evil. And if you think what's going on in our government, the biggest scandal puppet show of all time, and I'm not just talking about now, I'm talking about period. Hold on to your hats because we're in for a roller coaster ride. I say I'm getting off the roller coaster for a little bit because I know it's about to get up and down, and I don't like motions so much anymore. It starts to make me a little nauseous. The same as the devil does. Makes me nauseous. I've been really thinking about even things around here. I've been going through, and I'm telling you, I've been digging through boxes, and I've been looking at everything. The other day, I was here by myself. I kept hearing this girl, and it sounded like they were like pleading for help or something. And I'm going on, and I'm looking around the house, and I'm going. Luckily, it was outside. So I went on to our breezeway, and I'm looking at the garage door, and I'm looking out the window, and I hear it again. And then it's a concept of when I go to put my shoes on, whatever it was, wanted me to step out that door. I heard the Lord tell me, don't. What was it? Curiosity ain't killing this cat. You know, I'm not proud of things that I've done. And I'm not proud of where I've been in life. But I tell you what, it doesn't matter who's in my life and who's out of my life. It really doesn't anymore. I've lived so long. These last couple of years have changed me. You know, I finally look at this. You know, you really want to sit there and go, a woman that didn't have to stand by my side because it was between her youngest daughter and my son, basically, his wife. And I said that on one of the videos, anyways, of what I was being accused of. And you know, I still feel like, you know, I'm on trial all the time. And simply, the devil used the very thing that she's used to, you know. So naturally, he's going to attack with the very thing that was there. But in the reality is, like I told my nephew, my oldest sister's son, step face to face with me. But you're a coward. You're a coward because you're a liar. You're a liar like the father that you serve, that Lucifer himself. You're a coward. But you want to call me out. You want to say all these stuff. You want to put t-shirts on. And you want to sit there and do this. And rock and roll music, nothing wrong with it. Well, you live your fantasy life then. Because when you're burning in hell, nobody's going to hear you. Is hell worth your life for what you're living today? Is hell worth that scary movie that's going to become reality? It's just your people get so fearful and so frightened. And why is it that most of the time when you come out of there, your mind's playing tricks on you? It's not going to be playing tricks on you when this government starts changing things. Because God has to show you what the mark of the beast is going to be like when you take that chip. Power, authority. Believe what you want to believe, people. I know what I've seen in this vision. You think I'd be sitting on here talking about a fake Jesus that doesn't exist from a guy that hated God? I can't hate God if he doesn't exist. People question, I don't believe you've seen all the things you've seen. Well, you don't have to believe it, but you will see it if you don't take the warning. If you don't stop and become men of your household and fathers. Well, my kids pay for their phones, so it's none of my business. Yeah, it is. They're in your household. You are the foundation of your house. You are the leader of that house. You are under Jesus' authority to make sure your household is ran in a proper manner. Problem is, they're becoming lazy. Problem is, you think you're doing a great job because there's excuses after excuses of why something can't be done. Control people. You know, the thing that kills me is when you're in the middle of something and you hear flat right out, well, we got to go because we got to feed a certain person. Excuse me? And I'm not coming against my family at all. I'm not coming against them. I'm just saying it's the most naive, stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Your life is controlled around what? Well, they get anxiety. They get this. They get anxiety because they're playing in the devil's realm. Because things start to become real. I'm terrified of everything. You're terrified because of the things that you're doing. You're allowing terror into your life. Totally makes no sense now, does it? But let's dig it a little bit more in. I'm already over an hour on this. Let's dig a little bit more into this vision. I've seen things falling and changing in our lives. Currency. Again, I'm going to tell you, currency, it's going to be a card. That's it. Your paychecks, everything will be loaded onto it. Banks will start shutting down. You're going to start hearing banks closing their doors. Mark this. And it doesn't matter if you take it out because a lot of people aren't even going to take cash. I've already experienced this. I said, what do you mean you don't take cash? We don't take cash. Card only. I went to pull out a card. They said, is it a chip card? I was like, is not everything a chip card these days? And they looked at me. I was like, I don't mean to be rude. And I'm not trying to be rude. Forgive me if you think I'm being rude. I'm just frustrated with this. That's why I say our constitutional, roll it up, throw it out the window. Because you know why? We fail God. We fail God because we refuse to stand up and be his voice. What he created us for. Shaking my fist up in heaven and God saying back, I created you. You stand up. Are you so worried that the world's going to see you and the world's going to come against you? Well, guess what? They probably already are. Look at my family. That's why I talk a lot about it. So you have proof that I'm not just sitting here in some little magical made-up kingdom here. The things I tell you is very real, people. Whether you want to believe it or not. You want to go on and think your life is such happiness, then why are you in such pain and agony when nobody's around? Why are you so sad? Some of you right now, I guarantee you're going, man, he's nailing this. Because you're not real happy with your spouse right now. You're not real happy with your children right now. You're not real happy with your work. Some of you do things in a profession that it's not right to talk about God. Some of you are in serving in hospitals. Look what happens. It's a fine line. There is no fine line walking with God. You walk in faith and you walk in trust, even if they show you the door. Praise him all the way out and tell them. I've been telling people this in recruiters. We're not going to take you because we look at you as a seat jumper. Well, thank you very much. This ain't the place that God has for me then. But God opened a door that I've been trying for a while. And I've always never applied to the place because I didn't think I was good enough. They accepted me. And I'm still in awe of it. But I go back, let's rewind what I said about God showing his people favor. It's amazing. God is power. God is glory. God is awesome. You can say what you want. But if you would have known me years back, you would have, if you honestly, I was doing videos then to today, you would see how God is real. People, when I tell you I was evil, I was evil. And I mean evil. I could turn it in a split moment. I had strength like there was no strength. Went to the gym yesterday. And I could barely even lift anything. I got weights and stuff in my garage. Get me mad. And I can go out there and lift as much as I have out there like it's nothing. Explain that one. Just like people say, I seriously doubt that you lifted what you said in your hell video. Well, you can doubt it all you want. I have no reason to make up stuff. I have no reason to lie. I'm not giving the devil glory. I'm just saying when you're in a realm and you wonder how your children and people that's in your life can all of a sudden just get this Superman strength, where the heck do you think they're getting it from? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Not that I'm sitting here going, yeah, I lifted all this power. I'm power. Please. Back in the day, I probably would have went up against the biggest and the baddest person, whether I took a butt whooping or not. I had no fear. Because I know all I had to do, even if I was being beaten, all I had to do is say a few words. Now, I know some of you may go, well, Nelson, you're letting people try to get into this realm. No, I'm not. They're already there. They're already there. Your children are already there. The very children that you say you love. How many of you truly can raise your hand and say that you feel love from your children? That you really, I can't do it these days. You know, I pray that God brought closure to family. And he gave me that closure. And I'm very thankful, you know, that I have that closure. I have peace. You know, and we have to look at life and go, what's important in your life? Where are you at? Are you going to continue to allow this entity that's coming? And it's coming with a force, people. It's coming, and it's coming quick. There's too many things showing what your children are doing because you're enabling them to not grow. See, that Lucifer wants them to be dead to the water. There's so many ways around things. I mean, to even go into that area, you have to want change. Instead, sometimes it's something that's better than nothing. You know, my thing is, look at your children. How would your children see it? Look at the grandchildren. Can you do the same thing for everybody? See, Darlene and I always came to disagreements with our kids. We do for one as we do for all of them. Now, each one of them at different time had different needs, and we've helped them all. Some a little more than others. But some of them are just plain liars. And it's the truth. And I call them out on it. And then they get mad at me. I tell you one thing I will never do. I will never give someone money that I know that they're buying drugs and doing all the things that they're doing. Or you're flat lying to me when you got a spouse that's sitting there doing nothing with their lives. Well, I can't work. I got a bad knee. Oh, give me a break. I got a bad knee, bad hip, bad back. I can go down the line. There's jobs. You just choose not to do it. Choose not to do it. You want someone else to take care of you. Talking about reversal of roles, people. Look what the devil's doing. Is the things you're doing today setting a good example? Are you showing favoritism? Is people in your life showing pridefulness and control? It's demonic. Gets me is the people that sit there and put on the crosses. Walk around. You serious? You put on a cross that you don't even respect. That bothers me. It bothers me a lot to see somebody, and you see a lot of these rappers and all this stuff with these gold crosses and all this stuff on. But you know what? You know what amazes me is? It's the fact that many of them always seem to have a gold cross. I gotta show the world it's gold. I gotta show. Well, good luck. Because wearing that cross, putting on a t-shirt, putting on bumper stickers, you better be careful. Because your actions, what you do, shows. Especially when you got a Jesus loves you and somebody cuts you off and you're throwing your fist up and you're making motions and you're getting irate, road rage. It happened to me not too long ago. And I felt ashamed of myself. Not only did I feel ashamed of myself because I felt horrible that I let the Lord down. But I had my wife seen a part of me that she doesn't need to see. That part of me thought was gone. But it pulls its ugly self up every now and then. I'm human. Am I a work in progress? Yes, every day. Every day. When you come into a realm that is spiritual and you see things unfolding, we're allowing evil to unfold this month. Halloween night, the eve before. Wait till you see what comes afterwards. If you think your household's under attack now, because you have no clue what your children's doing. You have no clue of what your spouses are doing. See, God watches everything we do. If you got to look around, see what somebody's doing, or see if somebody's watching you, I've said it before, you probably shouldn't be doing it. You refuse to stand up. The waters are just the beginning of the rising. Food costs. Because we complain. Dang it. Gasoline went up again. Dang it, the cost of this stuff. Man, I hear it all day long. Every time I go in Walmart, I hear it. When people complained about the Dollar Tree, raising everything up to $1.25 now, and they got some things in there, $3, $4, $5, but they got shelves. It's still cheaper than going into some other stores. All the years Dollar Tree's been open, they've never raised their prices. They raise it up a quarter. Don't go in there then. I personally like the Dollar Tree. I really do. I think it's a cool little store. There's all kinds of things in there. You don't have to like it. Some people like Target. Target, look what they stand for. I was going to go back to work for them. And the guy told me, and I was floored. And I didn't even argue with the guy. I mean, I almost said, are you sick? I mean, I was like, oh, this is what he said. You're not management material, basically. Leadership. Are you kidding me? How many jobs I've had? That I've ran crews and I've ran places and what? And I sat there and I went, okay. God led me out of the truck because I was supposed to take this job at Target. I went to the interview. And that's what he told me. And I'm like, later on, I find out all the nonsense that they're involved in. And I was like, that's why. That's why God didn't put me back there. So I went down this line. And look what God showed me. He put me back with my brother-in-law for a while. And all I seen was filth. Disgust. And I tried to be the light as much as I possibly could. But some days they brought a lot of anger out of me because they mocked Jesus a lot. One guy even held it up. Hey, Nelson, look at this. You don't know what this is. I said, neither do you, but I do. Because what you're doing, he said, I'm probably going to go to hell for mocking Jesus, aren't I? I said, probably ain't the word. What do you think? The other guy says, he don't know nothing about this. And I pulled out my cross and I said, yeah, I do. I understand what the cross means. I understand what the man went to that cross, what he did for me. And I understand the man that you walk with, the evil that he represents. And I understand where you're going to go. And all you do is talk about how much you hate your wife. And all you do is talk about how bad your children are. And all you do is bash everything down from one area to the next. But in the reality, you should be looking in your rearview mirror, looking at yourself. Because it starts with you. Set the example, set the bar. But you won't. Don't tell me what I know and what I don't know. Pridefulness, lots of it. Construction sites. You don't know anything. You're just a laborer. Okay, that's fine. Can you do that? No, I'm just a laborer. Leave me alone. Can you come up? No, I'm just a laborer. You're the carpenter. Master man, go up there and master it. I'm nothing. You're right. I'm nothing. The one thing that he told me that was absolutely true. I am nothing. I am nothing to this world because I don't belong here. I am something in the kingdom of God. And I refuse to take the back seat. I refuse to become a child to my children. I refuse it. I rebuke it. Because many times I felt like that. Truthfully, I did. The very things that Jesus has been showing me are unfolding, people. Start looking around you. Has anybody, because of the 45th year of Michael Myers, has anybody been seeing the clowns going around with the Michael Myers mask on? Darlene just spoke it to me the other day. She goes, I seen this guy riding a bicycle and he had this club thing across his handlebars and he had a Michael Myers mask on. Really? Because I've been seeing it too. Seen a guy driving a car. Seen a guy driving a big truck. Seen a guy walking into Pilot. And people are looking at it. What does the guy say? That's pretty cool, man. One guy said, why is he allowed to wear a mask in here? The guy wearing the mask said, what's the difference when we had a mask on? Maybe this is my mask. What's the difference? People wearing motorcycle helmets in the Walmart and nobody could stop them. I'll be damned. Think about that. Think about that for a split moment. What does the devil want to do? He wants to hide your face. Why does he want to hide your face? Because he wants terror. But what is stopping this person from doing anything and nobody knows what he looks like? Wait a minute. Bingo. Stop. Exactly what the devil does. He deceives you. What you think you see, it's not what it is. The clown, it's not really what it is. It becomes the evil Pennywise. Oh, I'm so fearful of it. The way he laughs and he moves. Are you? You're not fearful of it, because if you was, it would knock common sense into you. Because it's on a screen. But wait till it starts revealing its ugly self. And it's going to. You're going to see demons manifesting like you've never seen. And you can mark my word on this. You're going to see it. If you don't start changing your lives now, God help you. Because either heaven or hell awaits. Our time is short. Days are numbered. The Lord showed me a calendar, and the weird thing about it is October is something between this October and next October. It's going to be very powerful. Also, we got an election coming right after that. So whatever wickedness that has to come, I keep praying, Lord, let the Father's will be done. I don't pray that a person comes in and be our next president. I don't pray for change of anything. I just pray that God's will be done, whatever it's going to take to bring him, because I can't be here anymore. This place has gone straight to hell. It's all we live in. It's all that's out there because we choose not to be the voice. But it's amazing when you're going through sicknesses. It's amazing when you're going through pain and sorrow and suffering. Jesus. Why don't you call out to the devil? It always amazed me, even as a young child. Why don't you ever call out to Lucifer, the one you truly are serving? Why do you call out to Jesus? Well, I want to swipe my card today. Well, you're out of money. What do you mean? Well, I'm going to swipe it anyway. Jesus, I need this. Please help me. Maybe you get it. 2 days later, you're back doing your same lifestyle because you're good again. That's why I always say I hate when people say I'm good. Oh, I'm good. I got this. No, you don't. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're being deceived. You're being deceived. Because evil doesn't want to face truth. And to face truth, like go back to the legions. What do you want with us, Son of God, Son of Man? What do you want with us? Please don't cast us out. But if you do, put us into the swine. Then, even the demons, I've said this before, even the demons don't want to go back to hell. What does that tell you? Wake up, people. Wake up. Tomorrow may not come. Is what you're doing today worth it? Is it? It's up to you. It's totally up to you. There's more that I want to say about this vision, and I haven't even got a chance to dig into the scripture, but I'm going to end this for now. Most likely, I'll do a follow-up on this because I still want to dig in more into that vision of what he showed me. But please take warning in this. Start looking at your household right now. Start removing these evil entity crap that you have in your house. You've been warned. That's what I just heard. I heard the Lord say, tell them they've been warned. There you go. May God have mercy. May God protect us. May He open our blindness and our hearing and let us see truly what's happening. Stop pretending, people. Start looking. Start being still as you walk through life. Take time to look at everything around you, and you're going to see this demonic activity that I'm talking about. You've been warned. God bless you guys. I love you. Until the next one.